What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia and welcome to another week of Tester Tuesday, a spot where I get Scentsy reviews out to you based on your votes from the previous week. Now I'm able to squeak in 4 scents this week, so we've got lots to talk about. Let's get started. Alright, let's talk about our first place scent for the week. It is Coconut Citrus Parfait. This is coming up in July's Bring Back My Bar at 23% of the vote. It's this orange colored wax, and Scentsy would likely put this in the bakery or the citrus category. I would say on cold sniff, it is probably between light and medium, heading closer to light. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, creamy coconut milk and vanilla bean with a hint of citrus. I don't think this is like any other scent I've smelled. I can't even really pinpoint what it smells like to me, but I will say there is a waxy coconut milk, and there's a little bit of like a gentle citrus, and I think what's happening is the coconut milk and the vanilla are kind of making that citrus less intense, less punchy, kind of like a gentle roller. Now I will say there's something in this bar that reminds me of a chemical. Now that sounds negative, but for some reason it's a very attractive chemical smell to me. It's almost like when you smell something that you know you're not supposed to like the smell of, but you do, and that's kind of how I feel about this scent. So I don't think it's got something weird in it, but oddly enough, I like that weird tone. It's almost like a plastic tone, but I don't know, I like it. So I'm probably not making this sound very good, but I will say it's a different kind of scent. I was trying to pinpoint, is it like anything else? I don't really think so, but for some reason I kept going to Summer Soleil, which is a gentle coconut milk fragrance, and maybe even that tropical coconut nectar mixed with Summer Soleil. But I really think it's its own kind of scent. So let's talk about performance, since I'm doing a lovely job explaining to you what it smells like. Performance was mediocre for me. It did do a little bit better than I thought it was going to do. So I put 4 cubes here in my bedroom. It was between 6 and 7 at its maximum. It did taper off. I left it going a day and a half. And in the kids' bathroom, which is a smaller space but with a full-size warmer, I put 2 cubes. It was about 6 out of 10, and I left it going a day and a half. So this one didn't perform, terribly for me. It didn't perform great for me. It was kind of a medium, but it didn't seem very long lasting. Now, I will say that I would probably stick to summertime to melt this. I would probably stick to a day that wasn't overly hot so you can pick it up, and maybe stick to small to medium spaces. You could always mix this with a little bit more citrus, like sun-kissed citrus, if you wanted to bump up that note, just to make it a little bit more vibrant. So would this be a repurchase for me? I'm going to say no, and I will say, when I mentioned that lately, is this a repurchase for me? I'm not trying to be negative and saying no, but what I'm doing is I'm on a strict wax guideline for myself, so unless I really, really love something, I'm probably not going to repurchase. So that goes to tell you, if I do repurchase, I really, really like it. But yeah, not a repurchase, so that is Coconut Citrus Parfait. All right, let's talk about our second place scent for the week. It is also an upcoming Bring Back My Bar for July. It is Happy Go Lucky. This one had 19% of the vote. It's this light pinkish lilac colored wax, and I would say it is between light and medium as well, maybe closer to light, and I would put this in the either floral or fruity, but it's leaning towards body care. We don't have such a category, but that's how I would describe it. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, luscious red berries, silky orchid, and Japanese plum floating on a cloud of amber vanilla. So this is a light to medium light, kind of like a low level, uplifting, pretty girly scent. To me, it has a little bit more floral than fruitiness, and the girly scent part is more like a body lotion or a fragrance mist. It doesn't smell like a fancy perfume. So I don't really think I get red berries. I think what I'm getting the most is the orchid and the gentle plum. It doesn't scream like a heavy plum. It's a very soft plum, because once you add in that vanilla, amber vanilla, that kind of softens it very much so. It does read a little bit of a younger style person's scent versus an older style person's scent. So let's talk about performance. I put 3 cubes in Erica's room, and the max it probably got was between 5 and 6 in her room. And I have a note that I could smell the berries, the orchid, and the amber vanilla. And the amber vanilla doesn't come across like a bakery buttery vanilla. It's a very gentle, almost like marshmallow vanilla, closer to that. But it doesn't smell like marshmallows, but just a plain natural vanilla. And I think I left it going there 2 days. And now I'm at the kids' bathroom as my second warming, and it's still going there now. So I have 2 cubes going there, and we're on day 2. So in the kids' bathroom, starting out, it was at max about 6 to 6.5. I would say that was yesterday, and I would say today we're at about a 2 out of 10. It's very, very light. I had to go right up to the warmer, and I thought to myself, this is a really pretty scent, but it just isn't quite strong enough for me. So I think if you're someone that likes those lighter body mist, girly, youthful, pretty scents, then maybe pick this one up. It's a little bit more floral than fruit to my nose, but if you like scents that are harder to smell, more gentle type of smells, let me think, Forever Yours, maybe Flirtatious, maybe even Shimmer. Shimmer's a bit stronger than this. It's kind of in that ballpark. If you like any of those scents, maybe give this one a try. I would say small bedrooms or bathrooms you would get your best performance out of this, and it does kind of have a spring summer feel. Will I be repurchasing this? No, I don't need to pick up any more. I still have 3 cubes, but I can see where it's a really nice scent. It's just not quite strong enough for me. So that is happy-go-lucky. All right, let's talk about our third place scent for the week. It is Provence Lavender. This is upcoming scent of the month for July 2024 with Scentsy. It is this darkish purple colored wax. And on cold sniff, I would say this is between medium plus, even up getting closer to strong. And Scentsy has put this in the fresh category. And this one had 16% of the vote. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, retreat to the French countryside and linger a while in rolling fields of lavender. And in the pamphlet, Scentsy has put lavender as the only note. Now there is something in here that smells a little bit more than lavender to me, and I think that's why it's in the fresh category. So this scent, it kind of does lean, kind of spa, clean feel. But it reminds me of if you went and took a bubble bath and then there was a lavender candle going in the background. That's exactly what it smelled like to me. And then I thought, wait, even better, as I pinpointed what I was smelling, it smells like the lavender candle and ivory soap. This smells a lot like ivory soap to me. Now, the ivory soap characteristic mixed with the lavender, that's what you get at the beginning. And the ivory soap is very, I would say, strong. Let's talk about performance, because I put it in 2 spots. I decided to warm it in the boys' room and Erica's room. So I did use up some cubes for samples as well. But in the boys' room, it was between 8 and 8.5. I left it going 2.5 days there. And I would say the first day, about 2/3 of that day, it was very strong. And then it kind of tapered off. And when it tapered off, I felt like it was more, maybe like a 5-ish out of 10 for the rest of the time. But I'm wondering if it's because at the beginning I had the door closed because it was so strong. And then later the door was left open. So that could be why I had that perception of the scent. In Erica's room, I decided to start it. So I started it yesterday. I put 3 cubes amongst 2 warmers. In yesterday's maximum strength, it was between 8.5 and 9. It was very strong. Even when she left the door like open this much, I could smell it coming out, and I'm like, oh. And I'm not a big lavender fan, and even though I like this better than I thought I was going to, it's not something that I would pick to melt as a home fragrance for me. I think if you love lavender, you're gonna friggin' love this. But anyway, today we're on day 2, and I just went to check. We're probably about maybe the 30-ish hour mark, even more than that. And it's about 6 to 7 out of 10. So it's still doing very well in her room. I can easily smell it when I walked in. So for me, I think this would be an anywhere style scent in terms of strength. You could warm it in an open layout, a bathroom, a bedroom, but obviously lavender has its kind of lean towards a bedroom. Now where it's a fresh lavender, it's a little bit more like, woo, so maybe start it early in the day, and by the time that ivory soap characteristic wears off and you're just left with the lavender candle in the background feel, then that would be good to go to bed with. And then it just kind of sticks around for at least maybe a couple of days, and then I removed it. So I think if you're someone that found French lavender a bit too light and a bit too herbal, then this might be the way to go. It's stronger and it's a bit more fresh. Now I still have this much plus 2 more bars, so I will not be repurchasing this. The only way I would ever repurchase is if I wanted to mix with a lavender. I think this would be a good one to mix with because it's strong. If you wanted a more gentle lavender mixer, then go with the other one, the French lavender. But yeah, not a repurchase, but better than I thought. and coming from this non-lavender fan, I would say that's a vote of confidence. So that is Provence Lavender. All right, let's talk about our fourth scent this week. It is buzzworthy, just barely missed tying for third. I think there was one vote in the difference. So this one had just under 16% of the vote at 15 point something. It is this yellow colored wax, a gentle yellow, almost like a creamy yellow. It's about medium plus on cold sniff intensity, and I think Scentsy would put this in the bakery section, and I believe back in the day they did. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, spread the word about this tasty blend of sugared almonds, creamy vanilla, and a drizzle of sweet honey. Now this was a scent of the month, I think it was in 2019, maybe May 2019, around there. It might have been 2020. And back in the day, I wasn't one of those people that hated it, which there was a lot of, and I wasn't one of those people that loved it, which there was a few of. I was kind of in the middle, and that was a rare, bird, because most people either hated it or loved it. I was kind of in the middle. I was indifferent. And you know what? I'm still kind of that way, but there's something about this scent that I do enjoy. So I would say the scent description is pretty spot on. It's a very rich, creamy, like honey sweetness. You get an almond note. Now, I used to not think that the almond leaned cherry at all. The third time I warmed this, I smelled cherry. So I think there's a gentle lean towards the cherry to my nose. Everybody picks up the scents differently. So that's why I say you watch lots and lots of videos to get ideas. But yeah, I have a note here. It's a rich, sweet, creamy honey plus an almond. Now, I think the reason that this is a killer type of scent, it's very divisive, is because there's some death notes in here. Death notes, I think Robin H. said it once, and those are notes that when you read them, you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm probably not going to like this, because you tend to hate those kind of notes. So for a lot of people, that's honey. For some people, that's almond. And for some people, that's cherry. So if you're picking up that cherry lean, then that could be why people don't really like this one. There is vanilla, and I think the vanilla really helps cream it out a little bit. But it does come across to some as cloying. So if you're someone that finds it a bit cloying, or you're just trying it out, maybe use less wax, use less warmers, pick a big area to let it breathe, be able to open the windows if you need to, and you can always mix it with a scent to dilute it. And I would mix it with something that's very plain, not rich. So something like a sugar cookie is a plain vanilla. I would go with that versus vanilla bean buttercream, which has a rich buttery tone. So let's talk about performance. I warmed 1 cube in my entranceway, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that warmer here in a second. And I'm warming 6 cubes in my open layout right now. So let's talk about the entranceway. It is the Fish in the Sea mini warmer. I don't find that's a very good mini warmer in terms of performance. It's a grouted glass. It's very heavy. It does lean a little bit away from your outlets. So if you're someone that has, those finicky outlets, keep that in mind. But what I do like is I like the looks and I like the light. Now what I'm going to say is when I put scents in there, sometimes I put strong scents in there that I want to kind of chill them out a little bit, kind of relax their intensity throw. So for me, even in that warmer, I would say this is an above average thrower in that warmer. So I think what I'm going to do with that warmer is I'm not going to give it any numbers. I'm going to say it's above average, average, or below average for a scent that throws there. So I would say this still throws above average for me in that warmer. I put it in on Friday, and here we are Sunday. I do have to get very close to it now to smell it. When I first put it in, I had to be about 8 or 9 feet away. I could smell it. All right, so let's talk about the open layout, because that is where I'm warming 6 cubes. I started it yesterday, and it's still going today. So starting yesterday, I would say it was a little bit slow to get going, but once it really got going, I have a note here, it was about 8 out of 10. Now today, I actually unplugged it at the end of the evening, and then I started it back up again. And sometimes that can be a challenge for certain scents, but this one had no problem getting going again. I would say today we're at about a 6 out of 10, and we're midway through day 2. So keep that in mind. It's a little bit of a heavier bakery, and because of that, I would say a great transition summer to fall kind of bakery. It might be a little bit too honey-like for winter, but I would say late summer, early fall. And on a day that's maybe rainy and cold and you just need a little bit of a warmth, this might be a good one to go with. I would say open concept worthy, probably best in that kind of area because it's bigger and you can let it breathe. In a small space, this would be probably way too intense. Would I be repurchasing this one? I'm on a strict no buy unless I absolutely love it. If I wasn't on that, I would pick one up. All right, let's move to the portion of the video where I'm going to present to you some scents and you guys are going to vote. If you're new to my channel, Please pick 2 different scents by early Wednesday morning. Put them down in the YouTube comments section. If you're unable to vote on YouTube, just find my Instagram post as Patricia Gates and put your 2 votes there. All right, so we are going to offer up the 5 remaining Bring Back My Bars that I do not have Tester Tuesday videos for. I'm just gonna do it in any random order here. And then we'll add 1 more to kind of top off our 6-pack. So scent number 1 is going to be Lemon Lavender. Scent number 2 is Juicy Peach. Scent number 3 is Coconut Daiquiri. Scent number 4 is Red Delicious. Scent number 5 is Sea Salt Mist. And scent number 6 is from Disney's licensed collection, Welcome to Imagination Land. And I don't remember what this gentleman's name is. Put it down in the comments below. I'm sure everybody will let me know. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. If you find these videos helpful as a review, please hit the thumbs up. If you're new, consider subscribing. Don't forget to vote, and I'll see you guys in the next video.